up your dream. Don't turn loose of your vision. It's not over yet, my friend. What God is planning for you. For the seeds in your hand decide the harvest God plans for you and me. Remember today, my friend, and don't give up your dream. My wife loves this song, so I'm singing it for her. Me and old Robert wrote this together. Don't give up your dream. Don't turn loose of your vision. It's not over yet, my friend. What God is planning for you. For the seeds in your hand decide the harvest God will plan for you and me. Remember today, my friend, and don't give up your dream. Don't let go of the vision that you know God has given to you. For every single promise God has ever made, you will find so true. And though the fire and the waters may come, they will not hinder you. Remember today, my friend, and don't give up your dream. Don't give up your dream. Don't turn loose of your vision. It's not over yet, my friend. What God is planning for you. Oh, that's something. Several people have been telling me, Brother Mike, I wish you would read your books and make an audio of your books you've read. We love to hear you read your own books. So I decided to read you book number 13. It's free if you'd like a copy of it. It's 46 pages. You will like it. And I want to read. That's all I'm going to do. When I was 19 or so, I read every success magazine I could find, and one day I saw an ad in the paper. The word was big, the word success, with a picture of a cassette. And I looked at it and thought, wow. Free. I love free things. I ordered it. From that, I connected with a man called Paul J. Meyer. I'm sure he's passed. He had a magazine. He had a company called SMI, Success Motivation Institute. I paid about $90 or so to spend the day. I sat on the front row, and they told us to write down a list of all of our goals and dreams. I'd never heard of anything like that in my life. Only time in my life, and I'm 77, when somebody asked me to make a list of my goals. It was transformative. And that was the day I decided that I wanted to spend the rest of my life helping people achieve their goals. It's part of my mission statement. On the Wisdom Center building, I have big words at the top: pursuing, proclaiming, and publishing the wisdom of God. The other part of that is enabling Christians to achieve and complete their assignment from the Holy Spirit. And that's my mission statement. Seeds of wisdom. Seeds of wisdom on achieving your dreams and the goals you have in your life. Day one. It's a 31-day devotional. You can create any future you want. You can create any future, any changes you want. You will never leave where you are until you decide where you would rather be. You may hate where you are. That's not enough to leave. You must decide and develop a picture of what you want to become, do, or have. The day you make a decision about your life is the day your personal world will change. Move decisively toward the goals you have established. Put pictures on your wall of the future you want to enter and experience. Wisdom key. When your heart chooses a future, your mind will design a map to arrive there. Intolerance of your presence creates your future. Intolerance of where you are. The Israelites had to hate Egypt before they could walk into Canaan. Wisdom keys I'm going to add as I read the book. What you can tolerate, you cannot change. What you can tolerate, you cannot change. Many years ago, I thought heavy. I was very moved against slavery. I could not believe that some of the African tribes would sell the other tribes to John Newton and other slave traders. I couldn't believe that. I just couldn't believe that. I thought, what would I do had I been a slave? Well, I don't know because I wasn't there, but for sure I'd kill my owner. I'd kill my owner. Right in the middle of the night, I'd figure out a way to get to his bed and choke him. What you can endure, you can't change. Or Robert's words was, I'm not a man who can live with a need. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to stay with the book. I've got so many creative ideas here coming to me. Or Robert says, I'm not a man who can live with a need. Either I break or my need has to break. John Newton was a slave trader, a ship owner. He's the one that wrote the song, Amazing Grace. Isaiah 43, remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. You must get a picture of your future. I'm not going to be able to read my books without commentary. So this may be the only time I ever do this. I see so much when the books are kind of brief, you know. By the way, these are books, if your friends want to buy them, I think they're $2 a piece or something if you download on my website. 2 times God came to the earth other than Jesus of Nazareth. One was Sodom and Gomorrah, and one was the building of the Tower of Babel. And when God saw these evil people, it was only 300 feet high, but they thought they could reach the sky. 6,000 years ago, you know. And he came and God looked at him. And that's where he said, the thing they've imagined they can do. God said that. They've imagined they can build a tower. And the thing they've imagined. God had put inside of man an imagination. And he said, the thing they've imagined they can do. I studied the mind for 2 years. I studied the mind for 2 years. It's profound, the power of the imagination that man. Remember, your mind has 2 functions, the memory and the imagination. Memory replays a past experience. Your imagination pre-plays something that can happen. What is the picture you have of the future? It's hard to stay focused because you have memories and you have imagination. If you can lock in, this is the picture I have of my future. I haven't been able to do it much. I've had 57 years of ministry, so that's... Get a picture of the desired future. A lady came to my wisdom center one time and told me how her husband had beat her for 20 years, beat her. And I said the damage occurred on the first beating because you stayed around for beating number 2. My new obsession at 77 is the world of joy. My new goal is to be a joy maker. And if you watched me today, if you've seen me on Twitter, I sent out wisdom keys. Your hourly goals decide your hourly joy. Your hourly goals. I have an hourly Bible. At 6 o'clock in the morning, I read Psalm 6, Matthew 6, and the Lord's Prayer. 5 o'clock, I read chapter 5 of Matthew. Every hour, I have a goal of reading a chapter with that number on it. 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I call it my hourly Bible. Number 2, create a daily agenda. You want to own a house, start your own business. Create a daily agenda towards your goal. Your daily agenda is a written list of things you want to accomplish in the next 24 hours. Create 24 hours of success. On your written daily agenda, decide what's most important, your priorities, in the order of their importance. You will never unlock your potential until your daily priorities, there should be 7 a day. I call it the joyful 7. What are 7 things? 7's the number of completion. I link that to the creation of the earth, God's 7 days of creativity. When you focus on a priority, you will eliminate confusion. Paul said in Philippians, this one thing I do, forgetting those things behind. Your imagination of your future is the magical key to overcoming bad memories. I call it the law of replacement or displacement. To overcome yesterday, I have to see tomorrow. To overcome a past wound, I get a picture of the future. Many people had a bad marriage and they've never remarried because all they can think about is a bad marriage. They can't even picture what it'd be like to have a happy marriage. One night I was sleeping at Jimmy Swaggart's, and he says, Mike, God's going to give you a wife like you've never dreamed of. And he made this statement to me. He said, you've never really had a true wife. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, I was married 13 years. What do you mean? What do you mean I do? He said, you've never really had a real wife. He said, when you have a real wife, you're going to think you've died and gone to heaven. Those are the words of Jimmy Swaggart. And I was like 34, 35. I'd gone through the divorce. And I began to date. I dated several hundred people. Every time I saw a girl that I thought might be enjoyable, I went to lunch. I had as many as 4 dates a day. One for breakfast, lunch, supper. Spent about an hour or two and something would turn me off. For 42 years. But if you can't picture joy, you can't live in it. If you can't picture, and just pick out 3 or 4 things that make you happy. Teaching makes me happy. I love sharing my experiences with people. I love my wisdom keys. I love wisdom keys. Here's some of my wisdom keys. When you open your hand, God opens his window. The place you create pleasure is the place your prosperity begins. The secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. Your decisions decide your wealth. Your decisions decide your joy. What you see is what you begin to feel. What you say decides what you feel. I got 35, 40,000 wisdom keys. There are single statements that affect me. Joan Warner, Jill Rhodes, Ken Laurie. Ken Laurie just wrote and said, I was transformed when I received the Dr. Murdock Time Manager, and it had a book in there to list all my goals. He said it was life-changing. Ken, a lot of times I'm wanting to put a goal sheet in every book. For many years, every time I got up to preach, the first thing I would do after I sung was to have people turn to the back of the book I gave out. I've given away over 20 million books. That's a lot. And I'd have people to write down anything they wanted to become, anything they wanted to have, anything they wanted to own. People wrote they wanted to live in a ship, a boat, a yacht. Some said, I want to visit the Holy Land. Others said, my goal is to write a book. Some people said, I want to have 7 children. Until you write your goals down, you're going to be dominated by your past experiences. Is that okay to choose your future? Anything you want, anything you ask, whatever you desire. Oh, yeah. The blind man cried out, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me. And it mattered to Jesus that he wanted his healing. Same thing with 10 lepers. They wanted their healing. So Matthew 7:7, ask, you'll receive. Seek. Wait. Why do I have to seek? Why don't God just give me everything I want? God wanted you to have a God experience like he has in the heavens. God wants you to choose your experiences. God wants you to taste your desires. I won't be able to do this, I can tell. My mind just leaps. Day 3, document your goals. Take the time to write down carefully what you want to accomplish with your life. Writing down your goals makes you become more decisive. One of the richest men I ever read after spent the first 1 hour of every morning writing down exactly what he wanted to experience that day. Very powerful book he wrote. Every morning he invested 1 hour in simply prophesying exactly what he wanted to happen at 1 o'clock. First he wrote down everything he wanted to do. Then he came back and wrote down the time of that day that he was going to do it. Visualizing yourself in that goal. Don't say, I want to go to the shop. Picture yourself at the store. Write down the time you're going to go there. Planners can predict their success. The secret of uncommon achievers is that they write down their goals. If you can't plan a day, how could you plan your life? I liked Muhammad Ali, and I had some time with him I really enjoy. He was asked, do you like running every morning at 4:30? He said, I hate it, but I love being the champion. He was a genius at self-talk. Muhammad Ali was known as Cassius Clay, the boxer. I followed everything he did at 18 years old. I adored the inspiration he could create for himself. He wrote poems about his opponents. He will hit the floor in round 4. I'll put him in heaven in round 7. You ever heard of him? Muhammad Ali. Oh, he was a joy. By the way, he had the same twinkle in his eye. This brings me to this dreams and goals. Who are your heroes? Who inspires you? What would you like to accomplish? At 36 years old, I was running 5 miles every morning. At 36 and 37, I fasted 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for 2 years. 3 days a week I fasted. Why? I was inspired. Inspiration decides the quality of your life. Inspiration decides what you're willing to overcome. Inspiration decides your happy world. I call it your joy world. What do you feel inspired to do? I just told Miss Mirabelle. I said, I'm really inspired to read my books aloud to the partners right now. I'm inspired for this. I love that, Pastor Ken. He says, go with your spontaneity, Dr. Murdock. Your creativity flow always fills us. Joy maker, lifetime friend, Pastor Loring. He wrote me right now. He says, we love receiving your experiences and your wisdom keys. I'm real stirred on this dreams and goals. I was just going to read the book and quit, but I told Maribel, I said, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to just read the words I've written 35 years ago, 40 years ago, but let's try it. The Lord answered me, Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain, upon tables, write your vision. 46 times God told us in the Bible to write, to write, to write. I wanted to live in a yacht. I was dating a young girl from Nashville, Tennessee, and I was so proud of myself. And I took her out. I had another boat, but then I said, I want you to see the yacht I'm going to buy. And she sat there with a snarl on her face. What are you going to live in a yacht for? That's crazy. And I lost all my joy. I never went back and looked again. I say that because something that excites you will not excite everybody. What do? You get away from the unexcited people. Stay away from unexcited people. Stay away from the unjoyful. Get away from them. Only stay around someone who loves what makes you happy. What if my wife hated my book writing? What if she said, I hate learning. I'm happy. I went through 12 years. That's enough. But that's not her. She's a learner. One young girl. She was pretty. She was cute. Had a good figure. She was joyful a lot. But she sneered at my passion to live on a yacht. And I never went back. Who's discouraged you from flying around the world? Don't lose your goals because of a sad conversation. Brother Mike, I want to get married. That I talked to one of my people and they just went through a divorce, so I don't want to get married anymore. Well, of course not. What you hear decides what you expect. What you hear decides what you expect. Don't be afraid to reach. Well, I'm afraid I'll be disappointed. Risk it. Look at Elon Musk. The richest man in the world. Out of 7.7 trillion people, he's worth $330 billion. Did you know he was beat up all the time in school? Did you know that his schoolmates put him in a hospital? They beat him up so. And then when he got home, his father was so rough that his father stood in front of him with a finger and blaming Elon Musk, telling him, his son, that he's the reason they all beat him up. The most successful people in the world had harsh childhoods, but they got a picture of what they wanted to become. What's the most perfect day in your life? I was singing to my brother. I sung him 3 new songs today. My 81-year-old brother. We talk every day together, and he's going through some real medical struggles, and so I sing to him about the healer of Nazareth. And I just put my iPad in front of me, and I just punched the recorder, and I just begin to sing. And I sing. Someday I may sing them to you. They may never. That's okay. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm a songwriter, but I don't know what's going to. Don't worry about it. Walk in the present joy. Walk about what you're happy about now. Sometimes I'll look at Christine. I say, baby, I'm starving. Oh, it's already 9 o'clock. I had this earlier. No, I'm in the mood for joy. Oh, isn't that good? I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood for joy. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood for joy. Not a bad little song, is it? I'm in the mood for joy. Discipline has a different joy and a purpose than creativity. But I want to get a picture of what you'd like to have. Some of you are widows, and it's okay if you're happy. You probably have a male friend you talk to sometime. But identify the difference in your need. When I was singing to my brother today, I looked over at Maribel and I said, I need a 24-inch keyboard. I need one to sit while I talk to my brother and just sit there because I sing to him new songs every day, and I just need a piano there. Do I want to cross the room, go sit down at this keyboard? No, I just want one that sits on my lap, and I'll find one. We looked a little bit on the internet. I'll find a 24. What do you want? Make it happen. What do you want? Focus on it. What makes you jump? What makes you dance? I have a wisdom key. Go ahead, dance. The music will come up later. Just start dancing. Just start dancing. New Guinea. New Guinea's with me. Pollard, Dodos, trying to see, Dudoa. I've never been in New Guinea. Pupandetta Papua. I keep trying to look at it. I've never been to New Guinea. Pollard, I'm glad you're with me. Mike Murdock here. I'm 77. It's Monday night, 5/22. What, the 25th of September, the 25th? Pastor Anna Sweet's with us. Yay, Pastor Anna. Master teacher, Sheila Jane Atkins, Oklahoma's here. I'm reading this book, but I thought I may get sidetracked because things hit me that I think about, and so I may have to hire somebody to read my book. I may have to do that. Do not overschedule yourself today. The wise refuse to consider too many goals. John Kluge, the billionaire. As you well know, I've taught you the secrets I've learned from 5 billionaires. Bill Gates changed my entire ministry when I was 58 years old. Learn from the successful. Don't be jealous of them. Don't be envious of them. Learn from them. John Kluge said, I've seen, he's worth $5 billion. He said, I've seen as many people fail from attempting to do too much, too many things, as I have seen people fail from trying too little. Can you overschedule yourself? Oh, I have. I have. When I owned my 3 jets, I would go to 4 cities, 4 states in one day. I preached as much nonstop in 12 hours. You can attempt to do too much. Nothing wrong with experimentation, and this is important in your success. Experiment. Life is constant experimentation. What if you like it? What if you don't? Make a change. Don't be too rigid with yourself. I often tell the story. I was in a bank, and I'm sitting there. The staff is processing, offerings from the partners. And suddenly I began to get real edgy. I was real edgy. I had not heard about anxiety, I guess, at that time, which I've had a real exciting time with. And suddenly I thought, I maybe need to go shopping at Walmart. I've shopped at Walmart 6 to 8 hours in a row. I've shopped all night, many times, all night long in Walmart. Favorite store. Then I said, well, maybe just go look at houses or something. Look at land. Maybe I need to look at a house. And I was just real edgy. And I suddenly saw some lollipops, suckers, up there. And so I went up there and got some for me and the people around me. And in 2 minutes, family, in 2 minutes, I lost all my anxiety in 2 minutes with a lollipop. Now, the bank calls them, I think, dum-dums for customers. If that tells you anything. I couldn't believe that one lollipop could calm me down, but it did. When you're edgy, you may need a change. One good conversation can stop all your anxiety for a few moments. Just somebody that knows how to talk to you. I'm talking about your dreams and goals. Get pictures of what you'd like to do. Get pictures of where you'd like to visit. I was preaching in Rome with my father, and suddenly it hit me. I said, Daddy, you've never been to the Holy Lands, have you? No, son, has always wanted to see what Jerusalem would be like. I said, oh, Daddy, it's like a 40-minute flight. We just go to the airport down. We flew there. I hired a guide and took Daddy to Jericho and Bethlehem, and I just took everything it takes a normal tour to spend 14 days in. I did in 2 days with Daddy and took him everywhere I wanted to go. I remember where I said, dawned on me one day, I haven't been to the Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church headquarters, with the Pope. I said, well, shoot, let's fly there. We can be there fast. I landed back from one trip in Akron, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, and I woke up the next morning and said, hey, I think I want to see Israel. Went to the airport, bought a ticket, and flew to Israel. You can do anything you can picture. You can do anything you can imagine. But it has to capture your imagination and produce inspiration. Brother Mike, I heard God's in control of everything. Really? He's made a mess out of it if he has, isn't he? If God's in control of the world, he don't know what he's doing, does he? If God's in control of the world, explain Russia and Ukraine. If God's in control of the world, why pray? If God's in control of the world, Isaiah 1:17 is a joke. Learn to do well. If God's already controlled everything, explain Deuteronomy 28 and the 14 verses of prosperity. No. The Bible is the decision book. You decide who to listen to. You decide who to admire. You decide what you want to accomplish. Who do you want to be like? Let me look here. Mayor Moore said, these are precious moments. I'm in the mood for the apostle of joy. Oh, I would love to be that. I would love to be that. Someday, I'm learning. I will be there. I will get there. I want to be the official joy maker in my world. I don't get involved in all God's world. That's his problem, not mine. Joe Biden's not my problem. He's God's problem. Putin in Moscow is not my problem. I have a world to build around me. I have a world to build around me. I decide what I read. I decide who I admire. I decide who talks to me and who doesn't. I decide where I will go. There's 5 or maybe 10, 20 decisions that will change your life in 3 days. What are you willing to stop doing? I'm talking about the joy world, the joy life. What are you willing to stop at? I'll never forget one day when it dawned on me of how stupid it was to spend an hour and a half in your kitchen cooking food. I hired someone. They didn't know what everything. It was a joyful day in my life when I said, wow, McDonald's can be in your house in 13 minutes. Another can be in your house in 20. Cheesecake Factory's 35 minutes. Long John Silver's 22 minutes. Do you realize how easy it is to use your phone and have food at your door in 20 minutes? Why in the world would you go get dressed and get in your car and drive past 7,000 cars and go to a restaurant and then sit there and wait for somebody to come give you a menu, and then after you order another hour? Why in the world, when time is everything to me? I remember us arriving at a restaurant one night and it was closed. And I looked at my team. I said, didn't we call and confirm they were open? No. Should we do that from now on? Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's 17,000 things to learn, and you can learn 10 of them in an hour. Talk about your dreams and your goals, seeds of wisdom. Don't ever schedule yourself. Make time only for that which is worthwhile. Stop doing anything unnecessary. Stop doing things you don't enjoy doing. Once you get a little money, hire someone to do the things you don't like to do anymore. Set day 5. Set reasonable deadlines. To you that are under stress like I've been, you might want to remember that. Change your goals. Change your deadlines. Delegate to others. I looked at Christina, I think it was last night. I said, baby, can you believe this? Here we are. I'm sitting here reading the Word of God, thinking and dictating my notes. You can talk up to 4 to 6 times faster than you can write. Writing notes is foolish when you can dictate, and it types it out on Dragon Anywhere app. Brother Mike, what if you want to do 5 things at the same time? Well, that's every hour of my life. But hourly goals create hourly joy. Pastor Harold Moore, you want to write that down. Hourly goals decide your hourly joy. Be honest with yourself about your time. Focus on the task worthy. Some things you must do. Today I had to send a check to IRS, Internal Revenue Service. There's things you have to do to avoid pain. Day 6, what you respect you will attract. Respect your dreams and your goals. Respect them. See, I remember wanting to tell the Lord I want to write 1,001 books. That was my goal. And the Lord whispered to me, I don't mind that, as long as you know I haven't commanded you to. I've never commanded you to write 1,000 books. Distinguish between a command from God and a potential way to bless somebody. Distinguish God's expectations from people's expectations. Distinguish that. There's a difference between what somebody, almost every few days of my life, somebody that I like, love, wants me to pay them a lot, give them a lot of money and loan them money to do something, almost every week. Well, that gets tiresome. So I had to create the verbal bridge to walk through that. You can't do everything you want to do for everybody. And I found out that a small joy is almost as good as a great joy. A small joy in the present, a small joy. Just like me telling Maribel a few minutes ago, I said, I think I'm in the mood to read this book aloud, like I was like a audio book. And when I started, just before I started, I said, Maribel, I may not stay on cue on every page. I said, when I start reading these words, my mind leaps and jumps, and I may want to take off down another road. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stay on the path of my joy, not the path of everybody else's. I'm a joy maker, but the first guy that I want to make happy is myself. If a happy wisdom key, a happy you is your best gift to others. The happiest you is your best gift to others. Should I put everybody ahead of you? Of course not. Of course not. You put yourself first, because the happiest you becomes a happy experience for others. No. Jesus said, love others as you would love yourself. He didn't say love yourself less. Let me see who's here. Pamela Pettit. Yay, Pamela. Jen. Terry Fowler. Alpha, I'm glad you're here. Galen Garber says, talking about food is making me hungry. Stay on the path of joy. Your joy. Stay on the path of your joy. Now you'll find that when you make someone else happy that you love, you'll be happy. Kind of happens automatically. But even that, if making someone else happy creates happiness in you, go for it. But joy is the goal. Focus, focus, focus. Focus on one task at a time. Abandon yourself by the hour. Create a little schedule for yourself. What are the 7 things I would love to do every day? Some are the must things, the have to things. The number one goal of Satan is to break your focus on a desired instruction from the Lord. Focus. Boy, this is good. Talk about your excitement. What you talk about has power. Talk about what you love. Talk about what you love to do. You notice little children, when they talk about their school, they get excited. Talk about what you love to talk about. Enthusiasm is the only climate in which the seeds of success will grow. That's one of our wisdom keys. The book's free. Call the book number. Enthusiasm is the only climate in which the seeds of success can grow. Master the enemy of fatigue. Tired people make mistakes. Very tired people make big mistakes. Fatigue is the number one enemy of joy. When fatigue walks in, faith walks out. Boy, this is a good book. I like this guy's writings. He just inspires me. Dress for the future you want. Dress appropriately. Dress joyfully. You're a walking message system to others. Treasure mentorship. Your mentor is anyone who consistently teaches you what you need to know. The secret of Elijah and Elisha, Moses and Joshua, Paul and Timothy. Do you want to achieve a goal? Who's mentoring you? Who's talking to you about your goals and your dreams? Who cares about them? When preachers pick me up around the world at the airport, the first thing I ask them is, what is your greatest goal right now in your ministry? 9 out of 10 always say, Brother Mike, nobody has ever asked me what my goals are. Nobody. Well, they have their own. They're dealing with their own pain. They're dealing with the storms of their life. Not all the people are bad that you think are. They're struggling with their own battles. It's not that they don't care about your dreams. They can't seem to make progress on their own. A preacher today wrote me a question and asked me about a person. The person's real smart. And this preacher asked me if this person could help me with something in their ministry. And I said, he's a sad experience for me, but he's very smart and could help you come up with that answer. I said, covered it all. All I said is he's a sad experience. Change your words. Instead of so-and-so is bad, just say, that person's been a sad experience, but I know God's involved with their life. Treasure mentorship. Where are you unlearned? Where are you untaught? What it will cost you if you stay untaught. Who are you willing to learn from? There's a book I wrote called The Difference in Men, and I could teach on that book the rest of my lifetime. The difference in men is who they're willing to pursue. The difference in men is who they're willing to learn from. The difference in men is who they're willing to ignore. The difference in men is what they're willing to change. Ask other people to be a part of your goal. Ask other people to be a part of your dream and your goal. Discover your dream. You must decide your highest excitement. Your highest excitement. Brother Mike, can I have everything? No, you can have anything you want, but not everything you want. Even God doesn't get everything he wants. Nobody can have everything they want. Nobody, not even God. Jesus looked across Jerusalem and said, how oft I would have gathered you as a mother hen would gather her brood. How many minutes do I have? 7 to 1 hour? Are you serious? Let's buy a new watch. Let's buy a new clock. Protect your goal. Make God your dream partner. Stop pursuing a dream that doesn't excite you. Stay with what you enjoy. Don't keep following a dream that doesn't excite you anymore. Brother Mike, had a real goal to own my own house, and now I've seen the maintenance cost. Let go of it. Let go of it. Don't hold on to a dream that doesn't excite you. Refuse to quit if it still brings you joy. Celebrate anybody who loves to hear you talk about your goals. Celebrate anybody who wants to know what you want to achieve. Be willing sometimes to dream alone. Have I been discouraged? Yeah. I've had people say, why are you writing more books? You got more books now than people ever read anyway. Stay in the river of joy. Stay in the river of joy. And your river is different than anybody else's. Boy, this is a good book. I have 46 left. I have 46 copies of this book left. We're going to downloads because paperbacks are so costly to ship everywhere. So probably 6 or 8 months, I'll probably just be sharing downloads. They're as low as $2 a piece anyway. Clark Snow, Cindy Jones said this is so clarifying. I love that. I love that, Cindy. Cindy, you're a master communicator. You really are. Fidelis, I'm here. Malawi is here. New Guinea is here. I doubt that Nigeria is here since it's 6 hours later. I'm just reading my little book. Well, I sat down to read it as a audio book for you. And I realized there's no way I'm going to be able to read any of my books. I'm going to have to hire somebody to do it. Because my mind jumps up and down and wants to tell you about a new thought. This is book 13. Oh, Harold, thank you. Pastor Harold Moore just sent me a fabulous joy seed to my life. Thank you, family. Stay in the center of your joy. It's the only way you can conquer bad situations. You can't. I've got a wisdom key. Schedule your joy because pain will schedule itself. Schedule your pleasure because pain schedules itself. Father, thank you for my precious family. I felt stirred to read my book, and then I got all excited about all the matching thoughts. Lord, I hope this blesses somebody to get pictures and put them on the wall of the future they want to have. Father, give them heroes. Give them mentorships, experiences in their world. Amen. This is my book 13. My joy is in telling you about how to achieve your dream and your goal. Keep your inspiration. Stay away from the joy killers. To have a joy world, you must stay away from the unnecessary conversations. You must stay away. There's a lady that has come to my church for many years, and she's a joy killer. She's just a joy killer. She thinks she's the only one ever right. She'll knock on the door of my house, and we'll tell her, don't come to my house uninvited. We're in the midst of pride. God told me to come here. God didn't tell you to dishonor my expectations. God didn't tell you to dishonor my instructions. Anybody willing to resist your desires does not fit in your world. Anyone who does not celebrate your desires, anybody who doesn't long to make you happy is unqualified for your presence. You want to put that little, those who want to sow an offering, I'll show you how if you want to. Boy, that's rich. Anyone who resists your happiness doesn't belong. Anyone who breaks your focus on your joys does not belong. Anyone that talks to you like a dog belongs in the dog pen. That's not a bad wisdom key. Anyone who talks to you like a dog belongs in the dog pen, not by your side. That's not a bad wisdom key. Here's ways you could sow if the Lord speaks to you. 3 minutes left. How many left? 0. You can, these are ways if the Lord. Harold Moore, I really love that joy seed concept. I love what you just wrote me. do. Family, I just had to come here, and I was going to read my book out loud, word for word to you, but I can't stay on track. I see other thing, I want to tell you that, and I want to add this, and I want to add that. Well, there went my big project of doing all my audio books. I'll have somebody else do it. There's no way I can sit there and stay on track. If the Lord speaks to you to sow a seed of honor for my 57 years of ministry, I have Cash App and PayPal and Zelle, if that's something the Lord speaks to you. I can't believe I just changed all my goals of my audio books. Maybe I can do it if I'm alone. I don't know. I don't think so. I think my books excite me so much, I want to give you a lot of extra. I thought I would just add a few words. I can't. Your dream is anything that excites you, anything that inspires you, anything you want to do or become or have. That's your goal or that's your dream. Thank you. I think I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'll see you tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon right here for Wisdom 27. Then at 1 o'clock tomorrow, 20 minutes with all my preacher friends. God bless you. And remember, stay on the road of joy. Stay in your joy world. I love to be your joy maker if I can. Bye-bye.